Hello and welcome to your next tutorial in Visual Basic, and today we're going to be discussing nesting loops, exiting loops, and continuing loops, as well as tricks with strings, which is what I want to do first because I should have done it a while ago, but there's so much stuff. That's why you need a textbook, because there's just so much stuff that I would never be able to go through all of it. Okay, so you might have realized that when you're dealing with information within parentheses, for an example, you can put things down to the next line and it'll still work properly. So if I put an invalid character, we still get this message. Still pops up correctly. Something went terribly wrong. Now what if the code has gotten so long, like it is right now, and, well, not really, and it's gone on too far and you want to bring it down to the next line so you can read it all? Well, what you can do is, first of all, let's say you want to do it with a string, because I just showed you without a string. If it's in a string, so it doesn't just have to be in message boxes. It could be if you're initializing a variable. What you can do is, let's put a quote there. Don't forget a space right here. You'll need it. Put a quote there, then a plus, underscore, enter. So if I run the program, click add, put in an invalid character, and look, it still works. Now what if you want the word wrong to actually go on to the next line? Well, what you can do is get rid of this underscore and replace it with VBCRLF, which stands for Visual Basic Carriage Return Line Feed, which basically means going on to the next line. And then an additional plus sign for concatenation, basically. So if I run this and I throw in another invalid character, now the word wrong went on to the next line, so that's cool. So allow me to throw this back to normal. There we go. And what else do I want to show you? Ah yes, putting quotes within quotes. So how do you go about doing that? Well, it's quite interesting in Visual Basic. Visual Basic is such a black sheep. Of course, I'm really used to C-based languages myself. As string, and let's set this equal to, I don't know, Adam says, why hello there, and, well, look at this. Well, the reason why this text went black is because while the program is reading your code, once it hits a second quote after the first one, it's saying, oh, the string's done, that's it. Everything after that is regular code. So in order to cancel this, all you have to do is throw in an additional quote. One there, and then an additional one right there. And there you go. So we have two there, and then after that you can put in what else you want. So I'll throw in an adverb proudly. So I'll click save, and hopefully everything should fit. Label output dot text equals text dot toString. Oh, I guess it wasn't text, it's test. There we go. And there it is. The quotes are there and they work. So that's really, really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of all this now. Now back to loops. So did you know that you can actually have loops within loops, just like with if statements? And in case you're wondering, yes, you may also put if statements within loops. You can put loops within if statements, just whatever you want. It's I really recommend you test and try it out yourself, just so you know it makes sense. So let's see here. So let's create a simple while loop, shall we? You know what? I'm gonna want this to. We're not gonna need this anymore. In fact, I'll just make it a comment just in case. So input conf. Okay, there we go. I think that was everything. Okay, so let's create a do while. And I'll make it I is less than 5. And I'll throw in list collection dot items dot add. And then inside I'll throw in input. Should be a string dot toString. There we go. Just to make sure. And we will have to increment the I plus equals by 1. So I'll click save, and oh, did I mistype it? Oh well. And let's make sure this works. So I'll throw in hi, And there you go, high prints 5 times. So that's good. Well, let's create a nested loop. So right off the bat, we know that we're going to need another variable, a separate one. We want to use a separate one. So I'll throw in dim j as integer up here, and then as well here, let's set j equal to 0, just to be safe. And well, let's create our new one right here. Let's put it after this. You can put it wherever you want within the loop, but I'm gonna put it. I want this to print first, and you'll see why. So let's create a for loop, a for next loop. So I'll throw in for, and then for the variable, I've noted I had a little green underline under my I before, and I actually forgot about something. When referring to your variables within a for loop, throw in your me, which is referring to the application itself, dot then the name of the variable. So I'm going to go j, so that's my j right there. So me.j is equal to 0, and then I'm going to throw in, whoops, sorry about that. And then let's see, how far do we want to go? Let's go to 4, because I only want it to happen I only want this to happen 5 times, because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that should be 5 times. And what should we have right on there? Let's throw in list, whoops, list, I hope my list is long enough, dot items, dot add, and then I'm going to throw in, okay, so I'm going to make this high up there, and I'm going to make this a by myself. I'll just throw in by in there. And we'll need and j increments automatically, so it automatically, whoops, j, my bad, so j will increment automatically for us there. So let's see how this actually works. I hope I got everything right here. I believe I do. So yeah, let's do this. Whoops, there we go. So I click add, and I'll type in hi, I'll click OK, and now let me explain this for you. So what you see here is when it first goes into the loop, I is 0, and then it's telling it to add in whatever we typed. We typed in hi. Then it goes into this for loop setting j equal to 0, and 5 times, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 to add in by. So it's doing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then when it exits, just like it was incrementing j, now it's going to increment I and go through the while loop again. And then here, well, it throws in our high again, and then once again it goes into our for loop. Now, for loops will automatically set it back to whatever value you set it here. Now, if you're using a while loop, now how would you go about setting it back to 0? Well, out here, you would just, whoops. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't change it right now because my application is open. But anyways, what you would do is right before you go into that loop, set right here j equal to 0. That's how you would do it for while loops. But here it automatically goes back to 0 and it starts over and does it 5 times again. So we have i's less than 5, so let's see if we have 5 highs. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. So it really did work. So that's really, really cool. So now let's figure out how to exit a loop. So let's create a little if statement right here. So let's say once it gets to the second, once j is equal to 2, let's say we want it to just not continue after that anymore. So this is a very simple example, but it's just for showcase. So if, and then let's throw in j is equal to 0, then we can throw in this end if right here, and then inside this if statement we can throw in exit, and then as you can see, you can put in for the do while loop, you can exit a do, so just so you know, but there's also exit for, so these are 2 different exits. So if you're trying to exit a while loop, use the do. If you're trying to exit a for loop, use the for. So I'll throw that in there, and that should be it. So, oh, I don't want it to be when it's 0, I want it to be when it's 2. So I'll click save, and then let's run this application again and see what happens. So I'll click add, I'll type in hi, click OK, and now it's only doing it when j is equal to 0 and when j is equal to 1. So that's only 2 times it's now doing the loop, as once it gets to j equals 2, it's going to exit the for and then continue on. And then it's going to finish the while loop as well. So that's really nice. And note that you don't have to only use this for nested loops. I'm just being a little, I guess, ahead with my examples. But I hope this isn't too confusing. It's pretty nice. Another way you can do this, you can actually throw in some additional code here as well if you'd like to execute right before the exit for, or you don't even need an exit if you just want a special case for code. But anyways, if you just want to exit, no additional code, what you can do is get rid of this end if right here, and then move this, whoops, and then throw in the exit for right there. So let's try it again. You know what? I'll make it 3 this time. So I'll click add, and I'll click in hi, and that does it 3 times, but it still works, so it's just 1 line of code. So that's really, really nice. Okay, now the last one I want to show you is the continue. And basically what that means is the continue, once you reach, you'll be working with if statements as well with this one. And basically what that will do, allow me to, there we go. What that'll do is get out of this loop for this 1 iteration, but it will still continue the loop. So if I throw in j equals 3 and I type in continue 4, excuse me, and the same thing, it can be, you know, continue do, but there's your 2 options right there. Mine will be the 4. And basically what this will do is only not execute this code for that 1 iteration. So I'll click add, I'll type in hi, and now we have 4 buys. So how does this work? Well, the difference between the continue and the exit is the exit will not continue the loop. The continue only exits the loop for that 1 iteration. So basically, what's happening here is it's going in for 1. You know what? It would be better if I actually show you a number instead. So, that's going to be a little difficult. Oh yeah, listen to items. Okay, so I'll throw in, whoops, I'll throw in j dot to string. Hopefully that'll work and that'll be a little bit more clear. Add hi. Okay, there you go. So notice how when it's going into the next loop, so the hi is the do while loop, and all the ones in between is this loop right here where I'm putting in j. Notice how it goes in when j is 0, when it's 1, when it's 2, but then when it's 3, it's not going to continue the code that's after that. But bear in mind, if you have any code before it, that will execute. But only when j is 3, it does not work. While exiting, not only will it not do it for 3, but it won't do it for 4 either. So, exit, save, I'll play this again. Whoops. Add, hi. See, now that 4, it was 0, 1, 2, 4, but now it's only 0, 1, 2. And that's the real big difference between exit loops and for loops. So, allow me to throw that up here for the information that we learned today. So, continue, exits loop for that iteration, and what's the other one? Exit. And what that does is exits loop indefinitely, unless called again. Unless called again. And there you go. So, you know, exit, and it can be a do or, whoops, or a for. Not a faux. My bad. So, copy this, paste, and there you go. So you can, there you go. Okay, so I hope this tutorial was helpful for you, and I'm almost at that 15-minute mark. So, I'll see you next time.